you may be able to hear some ambient sound. That is the Pacific Ocean, and this is Santa Monica Beach. Hello and welcome to Discovering the World with Simon. So let me just guide you through Santa Monica Bay. It's in Los Angeles, it's the Pacific coast, and to our left, if we look out to the sea and about a mile down, is the very famous Venice Beach. We went to Venice Beach on a cycle and then had a walk there, and that's a bit sad really, because I expected more from Venice Beach, and it's just that little bit tired. It's been appropriated by cheap imported t-shirt shops, and something about what made Venice Beach great and attractive in the first place has somehow gone. But Venice at least has salvation, because away from the beach and slightly inland are a series of small canals, from which of course Venice takes its name. Don't get me wrong, it's nothing like the real Venice of course, but these are just small waterways with some very attractive properties attached to them. And you can actually walk the whole of the Venice area alongside these waterways in probably less than 1 hour. But I tell you what, if I was coming back here, I would really seriously have thought to renting a property rather than the hotel I am actually staying in, on these canal sides, these waterways. A very attractive place. When we continue south down the beach from Venice, we come to Marina del Bay. You may hear some ringing in the background. Those are the beach vendors selling ice creams and water. There he comes, trundling by. Don't need any water, and I don't need any sustenance. And this is where you'll find yachts and sailing, kayaking, and a small area of beach that allows safe swimming as well. Really nice area actually. It's Marina del Bay. Most of the time that we've been here to discover the world, this part of the world, has been in and around Santa Monica. And I'll talk about Santa Monica in some detail later on. But first I thought I'd take you to what we were doing yesterday, and that was going into town, out of town to Hollywood. This time yesterday I was standing on Hollywood Boulevard outside the Chinese Theatre, looking at the prints and the concrete that had been made by the stars. People like Harrison Ford, Charles Lawton, great favourite of mine, Charles Lawton, who was born just up the road from me in Scarborough, Carole Lombard, some of the great Hollywood figures of the past, and some even more contemporary like Jack Nicholson, all there. But I felt, given that it is one of the most famous streets in the world, Hollywood Boulevard, it was a bit tired. It was in need of a refresh. There isn't even a decent coffee shops. It's just full of what we in England would call tourist tat. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm glad I went there. I'm glad I saw the Chinese Theatre. I'm glad I saw the prints in the concrete. I'm glad I saw the Hollywood Walk of Fame, because as I walked along there I could see the famous stars, their names allocated, and it reminded me, although I hadn't really clocked it before, that I was something of a movie buff, because I would think, yes, well he was in such and such a movie, or that chap directed that, or the great music. There's one for Ennio Morricone, for example, the great composer of 150 film scores, from the spaghetti westerns to more contemporary stuff. Sadly no longer with us, but all there with their own Hollywood star on the boulevard. So glad I went. Not sure I'd be rushing back there. Needs a bit of improvement. So LA, if you're listening, have a look at Hollywood Boulevard and bring it back up to spec. Let me bring you back to where we are at the moment, which is Santa Monica Beach on a lovely early spring day. We chose this place because it has a marvellous pier. I'm looking at it to the right hand side. It's got fun fairs, small roller coaster and a Ferris wheel, a few restaurants. I had a meal in one of them actually called the Albright Fish Restaurant. Very nice, very good, recommend it. Not expensive, but quite a lot of them are. And so as we look out to the right hand side, we were struck by an amazing sight, and that was a pod of dolphins which first came from right to left, about turned around the pier and went from left to right. Not far from the breakwater extraordinary. Just beyond where the surf was breaking, there was a school of dolphins. And if you thought that was good, then if I look to my left-hand side towards Venice, there's a pier there too. Went to the end of the pier just to have a look at what it was, to be greeted by the most extraordinary sight, really, one I've never seen before, a spouting whale, probably a small humpback or small sperm whale. I'll have to look in more detail because we only got a faintest glimpse. It didn't show us its tail, but there he was every 2 or 3 minutes coming to the surface. May have been a she, of course, and talking to some people who live around here. That was the first whale sighting of the year. In fact, they'd felt that there hadn't been many whale sightings in this area for some considerable time, so it was a source of some delight that the whale had returned. That and pelicans and an assortment of sea life and seabirds has made Santa Monica unexpectedly rather brilliant for wildlife, and for that I'm giving it a massive thumbs up. As it was, the dolphins returned 2 days later and caused a bit of a stir on the beach. Quite an amazing sight. Now, getting around from Santa Monica, very easy these days, in fact, because they've built a metro into downtown LA, and from there connections to the airport, to North Hollywood and to other destinations within LA. Or if you're looking for something a little more convenient, then you can download an Uber or a Lyft app, and cars are readily available in anything around 15 to 20 minutes, sometimes sooner if there's a car nearby. And we found that the prices were very reasonable indeed. Santa Monica then, in California, on the outskirts of Los Angeles, a great destination, a year-round destination, hot in the summer certainly, but a place to really enjoy the beach, the sea, the cycling, which you can do alongside the outskirts of the beach. There's a long stretch for miles one way and up to Marina del Rey the other way. Lots of water activities, lots of surfing, a wonderful place to get out, enjoy the outdoors, and really get the best out of California. Now, if you're looking for a visual representation of Santa Monica, of LA, of Hollywood, you can check out my website, Discovering the World. That's at WordPress. You'll see a link on the podcast. Do click on it. There'll be a description about what we've seen, and also I've put in some of the images, some of the photographs I've taken to give you an idea, including the dolphins, by the way, to give you an idea of what it looks like, so you can sort of match what I've said with what you can see.